will not bend. Game time. Run it up, 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 run it up. You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog, so the day that you finally pop off, you'll see it's not just a once off. You put in time, the harvest is ready, it's ripe. I thank God for the payment, that's a solid foundation. When I finally make it, I'll give God all the praises. G.O.D. who conquered evil forces. I don't trust in chariots or fortresses. Yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They start the drive with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes... Him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 22 more yards on another 1st down.
This is starting to get your heart right there, and you know it's really time. Season 3, thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. Off the play fake, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 1st and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. They'll run with Cook. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Looking in end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. Cook. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it. They go play action. Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings are on the board here first in the season opener. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. That didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian. He goes out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made just shy of the 30.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On first down, Rodgers. Looking left side of him, he's got a man. That's Jones. Working with a 2nd and 3. From the shotgun again to Jones. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Rodgers going to throw. And that'll be complete to Dillon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Calling a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
This is intercepted. Well, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
That partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Rodgers now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in Week 3 and then Chicago in Week 5. Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Set of downs started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to get them out to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish finish drives with points.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Well, they picked up the 1st down, but I'm just going to say it. I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot. And it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
It wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that bone.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation, but not a call I would make very often.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Rodgers. Call it a loss of 12 that time, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Midfield, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with the ground. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Jones will take this one in for a Packer touchdown. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove him down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took him home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From the 27, Cousins. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Cousins. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
The Green Bay Packers took a couple of members of the vaunted University of Georgia defense in the 1st round in the 2022 NFL Draft, and the second of those picks was Devontae Wyatt, a hulking lineman with excellent athleticism.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken in at the 22. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, nothing like squaring off in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Play fake. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Cousins. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Vikings. B.C. Johnson, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Well, he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, They've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
A 41-yard punt there with no return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should... touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down. Back in his own 6-yard line. Danielle Hunter in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to connect. Incomplete. And give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's got room. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. They're still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Cook. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
Joseph's got it. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced to be taking the 3.
You did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Rodgers to throw once more. Now it's caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now Jones, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. Rodgers will throw for it, and the Packers get a bit closer. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is when every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And avoids the contact by sliding. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
He wants it all for the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's fourth down.
Given where that drop started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into fourth down.
Another timeout called by the Vikings now. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
A run there with Cook not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. Second down coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Cousins to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
Fourth down, Cousins. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off for the first down. We are through three quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On second down, it's Cook again.
And only able to get two here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on third down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Cousins. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On play action, it's Rodgers. On the move to his left.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield, it turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now it's Rodgers.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ross Blacklock showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front get...
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
There he goes left side. The 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that pushes the lead up to 23. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Nixon now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete from the 21 and 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Lazard. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up with the wrong pair of hands.
And when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And right side, they're going to go option here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Danielle Hunter, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but Definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now Rodgers gotta have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Throwing here, Cousins. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Now, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1.
I'm really out for blood this time. Look.